Welcome to this College Algebra Training video. This is part 1 of 2 videos on finding the equations for functions. In this video, we will use a system of equations to find the coefficients for polynomial functions. The degree of the function will tell us how many points that we need to make the equations. So if it's linear, we need at least 2 points to find the equation. We'll plug them into y equals mx plus b and find m and b. Or if we know the slope, then we would only need 1 point. You've already done that before. Quadratic equations, we're going to look at some of those today. If you have 3 points that you can find the a, b, and c in the equations, if you have those 3 points. If it's cubic, degree of 3, then you need 4 points. So you see in a pattern here? So any polynomial function, whatever the degree is, you just add 1, and that's how many points that you need. Of course, if you have more information, like with slope with the linear, then you wouldn't need as many points, but you need at least this many points to start figuring out the equation. Let's look at a parabola, and we're going to find a, b, and c. Let me show you how to use those 3 points. So we're going to try to find the function equation for a parabola that goes through the points -1, -4, 1, 6, and -2 and -3. And here's our x values that we're going to plug in, and we're going to plug in the associating y value with it. So let's look first at -1, -4. So y value is -4, and a we don't know, right? We're trying to find that. X is -1, so we'll have -1 squared plus b, we don't know again, times -1 plus c times nothing, it's just c. And then for our next equation, we'll have 6 for y. A is going to be 1, so that's, or x is 1, so that's a times 1 squared plus b times 1. And again, c stands alone. And last equation, -3 equals a times -2 squared plus b times -2 plus c. Let's go ahead and simplify those equations. We're going to have -4 equals a, because -1 squared is just 1, minus 1b, or just b, and c. All these are going to have just plus c at the end. That'll be nice. 6 equals 1 squared is 1 times a, b times 1 is b, and c. -3 equals -2 squared is positive 4a, -2 times b is -2b, and c. So we have a system of 3 equations with 3 variables. We can solve it using elimination, substitution, and let's go ahead and do some eliminating. So our first 2, I'm just going to add those together to get rid of that middle b. So -4 plus 6 is positive 2. A plus a is 2a. -b plus b is gone. And c plus c is 2c. And if you want, you can even simplify further, divide everything by 2. That'd be 1 equals a plus c. You can think about it either way. Alright, but we need another equation that has just an a and a c, so I'm going to take the second 2 equations. I'm going to multiply the second one by 2. And that'll get rid of that b in the middle again. So that's 12. 2 times a is 2a. 2 times b is 2b, and 2 times c is 2c. Let's go ahead and add these together. -3 plus 12 is positive 9. 4a plus 2a is 6a. B's are gone. C plus 2c is 3c. We can also divide this one by 3. We have 3 equals 2a plus c. Alright, so we have 2 equations that have just a and c. We can again use substitution or elimination. Let's go ahead and substitute. This wouldn't be too bad to substitute. So c equals 1 minus a, moving that over. I'm going to plug that in to c. 3 equals 2a plus c, which is 1 minus a. 3 equals a plus 1. I'm going to subtract 1. So 2 equals a. Alright, we got our first part of our equation. I'm going to write the equation up here. Y equals 2 x squared. Now we gotta find b and c. C will be easy to find because it's already solved up here. So c equals 1 minus 2. C is going to be -1. So I have a -1 here at the end. And then I need to find b. Go back. I'm going to come over here on the left and use one of our original equations. Let's use 6 equals a plus b plus c. So 6 equals a, which we found was 2, plus b, we still don't know, plus -1 is c. Simplify that. 6 equals 1 plus b, so b equals 5. That's going to go in the middle. So our equation is 2x squared plus 5x squared minus y minus 1 is equal to y. If we graph that, you can see that all three of the points they gave us are lined up on that parabola. Here's -1, -4. Oh, sorry, that's -2, -3. -1, -4 is right here. And we have 1, 6. Ta-da! So you just plug in your x and y and then do systems of equations like you've learned before. Let's look at one of those special cases that I mentioned earlier where you have extra information and you don't need all 3 points. So, for example, this parabola has a vertex on the y-axis. So its vertex is going to be, instead of hk, it'd be 0, whatever the y-intercept is, k. And it goes through the points -1, 1, and 2, -8. Now, we don't have 3 points, but we know something special about it. It does not have an h, right? And if you think about the vertex form of the equation for parabola, where h goes would be a 0 here, squared plus k. So that would be simplified, ax squared plus k. We could leave the k or we could keep it as a c. Either way, we're not going to have a bx in the term. So we don't need 3 points because we won't have 3 coefficients that we need to find. Let's go ahead and try this one. So we have instead y equals ax squared plus c. And our x is -1, our y is 1 for our first equation. -1 squared is +1, so I'm just going to write a plus c. Oh, that was in our last equation. Alright, x equals 2 for this one, and y equals -8. Let's plug that in. And 2 squared is 4, a, and c stands alone again. Alright, let's do elimination this time. So I'm going to multiply this one by -1. So that's -1 equals -a and minus c, -8. This second equation stays the same. Add those together, I get -9 equals +3a, c's are gone, and divide by 3. A equals -3. So I know so far my equation, right up here, y equals -3x squared. Now I just need to find c or k. I'm going to plug that into 1 equals a plus c. 1 equals -3 plus c. Add the 3 over. C is +4. So y equals -3x squared plus 4 is my equation. If I graph that, you can see I have -1, 1 here, and I have down here 2, -8, and I also have a vertex on the y-axis at 0, 4, because we found out that k or c was 4. There you go. You can do the same process of plugging in points into polynomial equations and finding the equation using standard systems of equations procedures, right? Elimination, substitution, all that fun stuff. In the next video, we'll talk about how to do this with matrices and Excel. It's going to be fun.